1-to-1 game card dumper that dumps the correct keys to make a flash cartridge with it. And I've dumped these 3 games already, and it works quite well, and these are the only 3 games I have. But there is this other one. You see, I've had this lying around for a while, this Diabolic Lovers Limited V edition or something. Now, there's a bit of a story behind why I have this. A while ago, someone made a fan translation of this game, and they were being really gatekeepy and saying you have to show you a proof you own the game. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll just get the game, and then I'll get the English translation, and I'll just leak it online. And I did that, but I never actually opened this. I've just had this sitting around for ages. And I thought, wouldn't it be really funny if, after, however many years, if I just cracked this open, and the only thing I ever used it for was to dump the game, and then never touched it again. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just open this up. So, it's a brand new Vita game, never been opened before. Yeah, let's get, actually first let's set up the PS TV. So, to dump games, the current setup I have is an app I wrote. Okay. App I wrote. And basically, I use the USB port on the PS TV. Okay. And then I open up Vita Shell. And you mount the USB drive, and it doesn't like me. Try again. Okay, so we mount the USB drive. Then head down to GC Dumper. Alright. And actually, let me just check this USB drive real quick. Is nothing on here? Yeah, okay, there's nothing in here. My controller keeps disconnecting. So rude. Okay. So you open this up. Alright, and it says you just need to insert the game card. And it will just automatically begin once you insert the game card. So I'm gonna just open this up. Turning into an unboxing channel. Crystal System unboxes a Vita game. How the fudge do you actually open these? Let me use a pen. There we go. Broke into it a little bit now, hopefully. It's the old bit I broke into to kind of, there we go. Pull the whole thing out. There we go. Okay. Cool, open up. Alright, first time ever opening this game. I wonder if there's a manual in it. Oh, there is. There's actually a few things in here. I don't know what these are. It has like a number on it of some sort. That's neat. I get form for asking what other consoles you have. If I have a Wii U. Yeah, I have a Wii U. Alright. Alright, and here's the actual game itself. So it's, my thing is not liking me. There it is, VLJM 35. That's not a real title ID, but it'll do. Okay. Wow. Trying to do this one-handed sucks. Okay. And there we go. It is now going. And this is actually a relatively big game card. It's about I think that's around 4 gigs in size. But you can see it going now, and there's a real progress there. And once it gets to 100%, we will have a perfect copy on the USB drive by just plugged into this thing. And then I can pop this back and never touch it again. Actually goes quite a bit now, but I think I'm gonna hold on to it. You know, for the historical sake. Oh, see, this is a brand new game card, and it's struggling to read in some parts. It's kind of funny. There's some guiding in the background. It's kind of scary. This is going to improve the UI of this at some point. Ideally, this wouldn't just write the same thing to the console like a billion times. Ideally, it would actually look like something. But at the moment, this is all I got. And at the moment, it can only dump to a USB device. So this is a very limited app at the moment. But I plan on adding a feature to be able to dump off of to an official memory card and to over the internet for people who don't have the option for an official memory card. You keep being able to see me in the background a little bit. I don't care. You can watch it go. Because lights flashing like crazy. It doesn't indicate light in both of them. It's like you can kind of see them both going mad. Yeah, it's struggling a bit on some of this. It's kind of weird. Yeah, look at it yagging a bit. Kind of funny. It's like a brand new GC, but it yags a bit when trying to read certain bouts. This would be really helpful to be able to like do the whole bypass HTTP thing. So I could have like a direct capture from this. Oh well. Yeah, I'm just. This isn't a very interesting stream, to be fair. I thought, hey, I'll open up this game card I've had lying around for ages, and I've never used, and isn't even like is like brand new, and it's. And then I was like, I'm gonna dump it using a tool I created, and now it's going. I don't know what to say at this point. Um, what game? This is if I can find it, this is Diabolic Yava's the limited edition or something. Basically a while ago, someone made a English translation for this game, but they were really gatekeepy and it would only give it to you if you could show proof you own the game. So I thought, okay, I'll just go get the game and then I'll get the English translation off them and I'll just leak it on the internet. Which I did, but I've just had this sitting here unopened. It wasn't me unopened. I only opened it like in the stream. And I figured, wouldn't it be funny if after all these years, I just dumped the cow perfectly so you could like flash count it and shit. And then oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're working on me and some friends are working on a Vita flash cartridge. It is possible. Only just like a Vita flash cartridge is only just possible. It's like a couple things where it almost would have been like actually not, but then there's like a way around it. So yeah, Vita flash cartridges are possible. It's just a matter of implementing the authentication protocol, which is what we're currently up to. We have gotten to dumping games perfectly, which has never been done before. I use not cartridge games. You can dump MPDOM perfectly away. I believe there's a tool for that, but you can't dump cartridge games perfectly except with this tool I made. It can get pretty close. Like there's a tool by I want to say like Motoharu or something. PSV Game SD or something. That almost was close enough. Flashcards unmodded, yes. So it is technically possible to create a flash card that you could put into an unmodded Vita, and it would just install the game. And but you have to make a very cool. You have to dump it in a very specific way. There's a So basically, there was a key in like there's like a 20 packet protocol where Vita sends 10 packets and the cartridge sends 10 packets. In packet 18 and 20 from the cartridge is an encrypted key as like two encrypted values that get SHA-256 together to become the decryption key. And there are tools that, like PSV Game SD, for instance, that log the actual result of that SHA-256, but not the inputs to it. And so this is a tool that logs the inputs to that SHA-256 hash, which is what you would need if you wanted to replicate it on hardware, which is exactly what I plan on doing. The lighting is terrible. Yeah, this is a very this tool is very it's very much in development. YouTube TikTok Live. Wait, what is this? Some YouTube TikTok Live report? I just went on my phone and clicked go live. I don't know if is this like TikTok? Because I actually don't know. I just clicked the go live button, assuming it would be a normal live stream. If this is different, then I did not know that. They did not give the impression that this was any different to normal live streams. Okay, well, yeah. So I've contacted a person who has the Vita like QAF game card, and I'm trying to get them to dump the keys from it. It's YouTube short, really. But this isn't a short. Whatever. The thing is, TikTok lives suck. Like if you ever were on TikTok, like you scroll straight past the lives because they're all fucking terrible. So like, why would you want to copy something that's terrible to begin with? You what? Seriously? Well, I'm dumping a Vita game. with a tool I created. Yeah, the app will be uploaded eventually. It won't look like this, but it will be eventually uploaded as a thing. Once we because this is a very specific tool. This reads from here and writes to here. Like it's hard coded to write to the USB drive. And yes, it would be a TV. That's pretty useless. Oh, actually, you could mount a USB drive with the mystery port of OTG. That is something I also would like to make more accessible at some point. But yeah, so this is almost halfway done. So yeah, the app will be available eventually. Yeah, but the only issue is I need to find a better way to, like, you either need an official memory card or you need a USB, and I can't think of like a better way to do it without either of those. I guess you could like send the data over the network, so like have like an app on your computer that like listens for, and like, you connect to that and you send the data that way. That's possible. I might have something like that in there, but yeah, you need either an official Sony memory card or a way to hook up a USB device. So, and both of those are pretty. I don't think many people have those in this year. I mean, even my own official Sony memory card here doesn't actually work anymore. I put in my video and it doesn't read, which sucks. Because obviously you can't dump to an SD to Vita because you're using the game cartridge shot for the game card, so you have to not have the SD to Vita in there. And also YAMP itself interferes with game card authentication in some ways, so you have to like disable YAMP to even get it to work in the first place. But yeah. Oh, as another thing, I need to disable the thing where the screen like dims after a while. There's a function to do that somewhere. Still at 58. Also, this is actually if you think this is slow, it's actually like the faster version. We did a lot to optimize this, like how fast it goes. Like the actual file, I'm calling it .vci, which is meant to be like you know how it's like switch.xci? Yeah, well VCI is the same on Vito. So you've got NX cartridge image. Well, now you have Vita cartridge image. And yeah, so it has like the data from packet 18 and the data from packet 20, and then it has like, and then aligns to 0x20, like the sector size, and that actually increases it actually speeds up the dumping by quite a bit just by aligning it to the sector size. And then when using mmap to like map some part of user memory to the kernel space, so that we can just directly read in the data from the cart and then do whatever with it. And we're also aligning the actual memory buffer itself to like an actual row on the RAM chip. So like, RAM chips are like separated into different rows, right? And they're like, I think they're like 0.20 bytes each or something. So we're aligning through that, so there are some of those too. There's a bunch that goes on to make this as fast as it can be, and it's still pretty slow, but that's just the Vita's I/O speeds for you. Oh yeah, also the amount we read at once is actually the amount the exFAT driver will read in at once when reading a file. So yeah, there's a lot that we do to optimize this. It was a lot slow when I first wrote it, but it's still pretty slow. The only way to go really faster is with custom hardware, but in order to do custom hardware to dump it, you'd need the actual Xerox 348 keyring in food, which no one has. You don't need that for making flash cartridges for reasons. Sony screwed some things up, but that's all I'll say about that for now. This is actually probably the fastest way you could transfer it. Because if you're transferring to an official memory card, there's a bunch of encryption shit going on. If you're transferring to the NAND, there's a bunch of encryption shit going on. But the actual game card partition isn't encrypted. You have to do CMD56 to authenticate first before you can read it, but the actual data isn't encrypted on the flash for the game card. And it's copying to a USB, which is also not doing any encryption shit. Also, new point, make sure your USB is on exFAT if you want to do it that way, because it's way faster if the USB is formatted to the same file system as the game card. Even though we're technically bypassing the file system on the game card, we're dumping it raw. It still, for some reason, makes a difference. Also, yeah, the speeds are not the greatest. But this is basically going as fast as it. As long as the key were willing to push it, we could maybe go a tiny bit faster with threading or something. But it's like way more effort than that's probably worth at that point. This is good enough. Like it doesn't take that long, and you can just leave it going while you do something else. Like obviously you wouldn't sit here watching it. Also, another thing we haven't quite worked out how we're going to deal with is cartridges of GLW0, like the rewritable section. Currently, that's just included in the actual game dump itself, which, although there is kind of something funny, I think, about having your game dumps include your save data and, like, that be part of it. Oh, what am I dumping? I'm dumping this game. This Diabog Yava's some limited V edition. There's a story behind this. I explained it before earlier, but basically, there was a English translation of this game that someone made, but they were being really gatekeepy and requiring you to show proof that you own the game first. So I was like, okay, I'll just get the game and then just get the translation patch and then just leak it on the internet. So I did, and that's why I have this. And it was like sealed until like I started the stream. And I thought it'd be funny if years later, 3-4 years later, how fucking young it's been, I just opened it, dumped the cartridge so you could make like a flash card with it, and then never touched it again. Yeah, this is a tool I wrote with some help from SKG Ever. And some help from Princess for optimizing read speeds and stuff. But mostly I wrote it. And it's a tool to create perfect dumps of game cartridges. Unlike PSV Game SD, which claims to make perfect dumps, it actually isn't perfect. Because it doesn't dump the keys. It dumps the keys, but it dumps the wrong set of keys. Um, it's like there's like two packets on the game card, and they used to like derive keys, and they give you the keys that were created from that rather than what's used to create them. It's I could. It's a thing. Just trust me. There's a reason you can't just use games from PSV Game SD. There's like a technical reason for it. There's a technical reason why I need to make this, basically, and why no other existing tool for doing this will work. My God, it keeps going off focus every single fucking time. Okay, so we're 94% done. Yeah, these splash sheets are pretty slow. Yeah, I'm planning on making an actual UI for this and being like, okay, so you have the option to dump to a USB from a Vita TV or over OTG or mystery port, dump to an official memory card, or dump over the network. So if you don't have an official memory card or a USB OTG or Vita TV or something, you can still do stuff with it. Yeah, because you obviously can't write it to an SD to Vita, right? Because you're using a game card slot for the game card, and the Vita only has one, so. Anyways, I think I've gone over like all of it before, but this is almost done. It's an EB8, whatever, EBCE, blah blah blah. Oh, there we go, 100%. Cool. And it doesn't say it's completed or anything. What about video games and preserve? Yeah, this is the best way to preserve video games, these physical video games that currently doesn't exist. Well, it does exist, but only on my Vita. But yeah, I'm gonna make this into a proper tool. I can't turn my controller on. Awesome. That is frustrating. Why can't I turn my controller on? Delete that, your battery. Let's plug it in somewhere else. Plug in my controller elsewhere. You can't see what I'm doing very well. Okay, I got that. And I'll just plug in the Wii U. Works. Alright. Turn on the Wii U so that charges. Okay. And just switch that back over. Alright, hopefully now can push the button. Because this would also technically allow you to make like reproduction cartridges, though I don't really like the idea. Well, I don't mind repro cartridges. I don't want people selling repro cartridges and then claiming it's the original cartridge. So, there are some technical reasons why you'd be able to tell if someone had done that. But that won't be forever, probably. Someone will eventually get the keys. Someone will eventually get the 0348 keyring, and that would solve that problem. But anyway, oh my fucking God. I need to charge my Vita. I need to charge my damn controller, but I also need to be plugging to this. This is frustrating. Can you connect it? But if I can't turn it on while it's charging, who designed this stupid controller? Okay, cool, got it. So just push X. Okay, so is it just installed? Actually, this is gonna be interesting because this is gonna be my first dump of a game that has never been installed before. Because when you install a game, it writes to what's called media ID. And see here, here's the game dump. It's in my own format, VCI. It's a very simple format. It's essentially just let's open up hex editor. It's essentially just up here we have a magic number, which is this VCI, then a version, and then the size of the image, and then down here, these 0x40 bytes. These are the keys that I was talking about from packet 18 and packet 20. And then down at 0x200 is the actual game cloud dump itself. So you see here, it's semi-computer entertainment, and then just this is the raw partition itself, which is most of these arrows. This will compress very well. But yeah, so that's it. So I can just unmount the USB. All right. Again, this currently only works with the USB. I will make it work with official memory card. I just need to get an official memory card. Okay. So cool. Got it on the USB. So now I can head over to computer over there, which is seen better days, but whatever. Computer. Yeah. Computer. Look at my amazing computer. It's very good quality. Okay, we're talking about system shit. Go away, SimPPL. Go away you. Go away you. Go away you. Go away you. Okay. I'm dropping everything in this folder, my PSVita folder. There's a few other dumps here of my other games. So let me just plug in this. Okay. And ESD, USB-D. So now, see here, gc.vci. I mean, realistically, this would have a better name, but again, this is a testing thing. It's just like it's not done, okay? Realistically, I would name this after like the name in the param.sfo file, but whatever. So it is now copying off of the USB to my computer. And yeah, that's it. There is currently no way to play this dump because I'm planning on making it work with a flash cartridge. That flash cartridge doesn't exist. It would be relatively easy to make a plugin to emulate a game cartridge shot. That would be pretty simple. So we could do that too. You just need to mount GLO0 and GLW0, SHA-256, those two things together to get the actual key, and then you'd have to then set that key to the like game count stuff. You just copy that key you set and then tell it that the authentication succeeded, I guess. And that would probably cause like that would be how you could PA the dump from a hack video. But these dumps are for a flash card I'm working on mainly. There is already .psv, which is almost good. It's like pretty good, but it's not this level good. I'm gonna take the game card out and put it inside the box again while I wait for that. And I can go in here, never to be touched again. Also, if you're wondering about my Cold Steel copy, yeah, I lost the actual cartridge at school one time. And so, yeah, I just have the box. Nice box, though. Okay. Almost done. Okay, there we go. GC.vci. I got the file on my computer. And I could rename this. In fact, I will. It's was it Diabotic Others Limited the edition. And then it had a game. It had a game ID of some sort. It didn't look like the actual game ID, but it had a game ID. Here it is. VLJM 35079. So I'll pop. VLJM 35079. Okay. Okay, that's it. There we go. Done. And see, this is what would be great to be like actually be using OBS, so I could just switch to my computer now instead of having to look at it, whatever this crap is. But I'm not doing that, so instead you get to see my computer through my fucking phone. So this just opens up in the hex arrow, so you can have like a quick look. So yeah, it has the VCI and then the keys. These all important random looking numbers right here. Super important. Everything else failed to extract these. This is the most important part of this whole dumper. Is it grabs these. Okay. So yeah, I suppose I could upload to archive.org. Why not? Archive.org. No one's gonna be able to use this dump for anything yet, but whatever. I mean, some people who are like more technical with the Vita might be able to. But whatever. I'll just upload this here. I don't care. Upload files. Files. About the others. VCI. Cool. Okay. Dump of game cat version of Diabotic Others the limited edition. Well, the thing is, the reality is there are better ways to pirate Vita games. Like, this is only useful if you wanted to make perfect copies of your Vita game cartridges. And we're mostly making a flash cartridge just for the sake of showing that we can do it. But this is the most, like, quote unquote best way to archive a Vita game cartridge. Like it beats PSV Game SD, I guess. Creator of the content. Creator of the content. Who made this game? Wait a minute. Who made this game? Rejet, Idea Factory, and Compile How. Okay. Rejet, idea. So I think the same people who made Neptunio. It's been ages since I've actually played Neptunio. Compile out. Okay. The date the work was published. I don't know. Technically it's in the game. Technically it's in the partition data somewhere. But whatever. I'll just say it's community software. Language of the work. It's in Japanese. I would be nice to also like scan the cover of the game, and also scan like the insides. I suppose maybe like Redump might like this work because it is like, yeah, Redump might like this. But I don't know. I don't have the best relationship with the Redump team. But yeah, okay. That's not going. So yeah, suppose uploading the archive log. Do I need to stream myself uploading this archive log? Is that important? No intro, yeah, actually that's a good point. No intro, yeah. Because no intro is all about like dumping games again with but like in like the perfect way possible, right? And that's what this is. This is essentially like, okay, so there was PSV game SD, and this seems to be the best solution, and for a while it was. So this is by Motoharo, right? My screen has definitely seen better days. Okay, so this is a tool by Motoharo, and it does almost the same thing. See, it says it creates one-to-one dumps of game caches. This isn't actually technically true because this includes the key, like the result of the key, not the key itself, or something. I don't know how to really explain this well, but it's like, I honestly we better make a dedicated video about how we better make a dedicated video about how game card authentication works, but to really explain how this is this is better than PSV Game SD. But whatever. God, I wish I was actually streaming in OBS so I could just switch to fucking yeah, so I could just switch to streaming normally. But whatever. Like, that would be a smart move. Instead of to record my fucking screen by holding a camera up to it like a caveman. Or I guess a cave girl in my case. But still. Also, only having 2 USB ports absolutely sucks. Actually, I don't need this USB port plugged anymore. I've already copied it off the thing. Yeah. No intro takes this. I don't know what no intro does. I don't know what either of us groups do. I don't have because no intro I know no intro was interested in Vita stuff, and they were like annoyed at the way the Vita scene works, because you like make fake license files for your games and stuff, which isn't actually the best way to do it. But it's like either way you need a hacked Vita for digital content. But for physical content, you wouldn't necessarily. You could use a flash card. But then you need a way to make dumps that can actually be used for a flash card. Which is what this is, but still. Okay, so I'd like to show off the reason why I have a script I wrote actually. If any of you know how to read Python, I can kind of go over how it works. May as well, nothing better to do. So it's in one of these folders. I think it's in Python white thin. Yeah, okay, get shell partial. So essentially, all right, This is actually, I think, to decrypt the data from the packets, but this part here, derive keys, okay? This is what is stored inside PSV game SD. It's the result from this m.digest. That's what's stored in there. And this is the result of a SHA-256 hash, which is a one-way function that cannot be reversed, of these two things, the KYIC buff and the WIF buff. And the KYIC buff and the WIF buff are essentially from decrypting packet 18, and then these specific bytes inside it, and then decrypting packet 620, and these specific bytes inside that. And those are the KYIC buff and the WIF buff. Okay, and then those are inputted into SHA-256, and then that is hashed there. And that is what was stored inside every single GameCat dump format up to this point, which is, to be fair, there's only two. There's PSV Game SD, and then there's the one SKG Yabo made. But ideally, you would actually store the result of this and the result of this, because you can't reverse this step, right? But if you want this key, you can always just do this step yourself, and then out comes that key. So yeah, that's essentially what my thing does, is it dumps these two values here, which are required in order to calculate this. And this is important because if you're making a flash card, the cartridge can only provide this and this. It can't provide the output of this, right? It can only provide these two values. So we need these two values in order to work out this. So a flash card would have to include these two, and yeah, so this is just better in like every way, doing it this way. It's just better that the PSV game SD in like in every way possible. Yeah, and then it's just this rest of this is just reading, like I just read from I just read from like a capture of the thing, and I have a key which the key's actually different every time. This is just one rip from one capture I did, but whatever. Anyway, so this is the this part, and then this part. These parts aren't different every time. These are the same for every game. For every game, it has a unique one of these two things, and they go into this, and it creates this. Okay, did you get it? That this is we can't reverse this step. It's hard to explain this, but like, yeah, it's hard to explain this well without knowing what SHA-256 is. But whatever. It would be better to make like a video like how does game card authentication work, and just go over like the entire process. That could be fun, actually. I know how the entire thing works now, so this is gonna take a long time to upload, so I think I might cut it off here because I'm feeling there's any real reason to continue streaming at this point. I've dumped the game. I'm just uploading it to the internet now, and yes, I think I'm gonna head off now. So see you all. But yeah, this is a little sneak peek of what I've been working on, I suppose. At some point, it should be possible to convert this into PSV as well. I wouldn't be too hard. But yeah, okay.